good to go.
Hey, I'm LJ and welcome to the first episode of LJ Reacts, or at least the second first episode. As any aspiring YouTubers will know, sometimes technical difficulties get in the way, and I tried doing a final episode of this and the sound quality was awful. So here's hoping the second time round I can get this up on the web. Guess if you're looking at this, you'll know where I did or not. So yeah, what this is a series of reaction videos. I'm getting a lot of them coming up on my YouTube feed as of late, and what some of them are actually really interesting. But obviously, you've got people who are like vocal techniques and are in the music business and break it down from that side. And you've got like complete other end of the spectrum who don't really know anything about music but just want to hear new stuff. And it's great hearing perspectives from both sides. There are also some two sort of different camps that these people seem to fall into. You've got one camp that is people slightly older than myself who listen to stuff that I would have listened to as a teenager. And you've got people who are slightly younger than myself who listen to stuff that they listened to as a teenager. So I was sort of looking and I was like, well, maybe there's a bit of a gap in the market, you know, I can sort of go for the slightly newer stuff. Because the age I am now, I sort of stopped listening to new popular music when I was probably about in my early 20s. So the last 10, 15 years, I'm not as up to date as I could be. So I'm using these videos to sort of go back and see what I missed out on. Sort of heard stuff on the radio and I said, oh, that's brilliant. And, you know, all the stuff that I think was new music came out so long ago. So yeah, I'm sort of going back through the years and, you know, trying out some of these newer artists that I might not know, or some of these newer songs that I might have missed. So I'm starting with an artist I know fairly well. Maybe it's a poster behind me there. That is Coheed and Cambria, came in their last album, Vaxxus #1. The new album, Vaxxus #2, is due out any day now, as I record this. And they've started posting like songs from the album. So Coheed, I've loved Coheed for the last 15 and 20 years. You know, I've sort of got into them up just about the time I released their second album. Of course, it's Favor House Atlantic that really sort of drew me to them. They have got a lot of other great songs to sort of go through their back catalogue. When it comes to Coheed, my preference is Armory Wars stuff. So, you know, all the albums up to the one before last, although that one is an interesting one. It's sort of slightly different. But it's still a pretty good album. So, yeah, I mean, Coheed's actually part of the reason I'm doing these reaction videos, sort of, you know, because where all these reaction videos are coming up on my feeds, sort of going through, and one of the other videos on my feed was Coheed's cover of Love Gun. Those who don't know the original Love Gun by Kiss, it sounds slightly different. Thanks to Heart and Essence Wrestling for letting me use that footage, because the last thing I want is my first video to be demonetized, because, you know, I'm using official Kiss music. They're known to be just a little litigious. So I'll save that one until maybe I've established myself a bit more. But yeah, so like I said, I am listening to a track from the new album coming out called Vaxxus 2, which, you know, given the last one was Vaxxus 1, quite a simple title. So this is called Comatose, and you should see somewhere on screen at least. You'll be seeing the video as I'm seeing it and hearing the music as I hear it. So without further ado, let's give this a listen, shall we? I'm just going to pause it there for a minute. Because that's what all reactors do. And I'm one now, so why break the trend? But yeah, so I said so the previous album I sort of went back to their space opera in this, going sort of with Star Wars doing a space opera. For those who don't know, the story of the Armory Wars starts with two protagonists in Coheed and Cambria who have been sent to Earth and had their memories erased, and they are actually sleeper cells for an invading alien force. But the invading alien force don't know that they were actually sent to them as sleeper cells from resistance. It's quite long and complicated. I've got the comic book series on the shelf, sort of just off camera there. It's actually it's makes for interesting reading. Remember the first time I tried reading it, I was picked up one of the comics at a gig and was drunk enough and just flipping through it. Just made no sense. You have to be right. One of those comics have to be sort of in the right frame of mind. It's not, just like one big kablamo written on a page, look through it easily. It's quite sort of in depth. Audio is has put a lot of effort into it. But going back to the video, sort of saying how it's quite apt that they're focusing on the war, given what's happening in the world right now. Because as he said, he's quite afraid, and I'm sure that's what a lot of people are feeling right now. Apparently all over the world, but I will not go into the couple who emailed on Kevin Preston to say that the war, to which the probably got sent back. I didn't know the Ukraine invasion made it to Bradwell, but no, moving on. Let's keep this going. Such a mess, baby, this game. I start to finish what you said and spin alone. Don't get too cold. I don't wanna feel fucking keep me comatose. There's no more maybes, this is absolute. So don't stop now, today's the day. I know it's not what you want, it's not what you wanna hear. But what's it really matter when you're lost? I'll go sing a song for all your lonely hearts. I know I'll waste years. You're afraid of being as crazy as you are. But you can't cross the line. You're borderline. You're borderline. 'Cause I'm so afraid to let you know. I'm letting go. Oh, such a mess, baby. This game's over. When the president no one gets in, I start to finish what you said and spin alone. Don't get too cold. I don't wanna feel fucking keeping cold. Listening to the chorus a couple of times, got me thinking. Maybe I've not been paying attention to the early codes, but the older they get, the more adult their language seems to be. I don't remember them. Really don't remember dropping F-bombs in some of the earlier albums I did, but last sort of few I've noticed that they're sort of sneaking in there. I mean, Vango is 20 years old now, so I guess it's legally old enough to drink. So why not indulge in other? I guess. But yeah, one thing I noticed when I listened to the previous album, Practice One, was all very experimental, kind of out there. And while this seems to, the storyline seems to be out there, I'm going with this. I don't know what track number this is, I'm guessing it's like a lot of their tracks. It is a chapter of a part of the story. But this seems to be going sort of in that sort of got some quite progressive lyrics. Musically, the way it's structured, it is sort of on par with. It's not experimental without Coheed. It is just some great sort of great sort of pounding rhythm and melody. Let's So, in conclusion, what am I thinking? Like I said, it's a brilliant Coheed sort of chugs along like a great sort of Coheed track, like a Play the House Atlantic or a Red Summit. It's got that sort of beat to it. It's great sort of follow along with. I really like they're sort of addressing like the mental health issues in there as well. That's pretty solid. The whole being a one-man prison. That is, I would love. I have not seen Coheed live doing that. Maybe I'll catch someone in the near future. I would just love to catch this. Like there are certain acts that really elevate their game in their life. Like your Coheed is one of them. That would just make the crowd just that would just really sort of chew up the mosh pit hard. Vocally, it's not going full falsetto. I don't know if that is just sort of protective voice, because some of the best songs are sort of so notes are so high you sort of need a step ladder to get up there. But this one he's playing it smooth, you know, he's not overdoing it. Yeah, I mean, as a rating of this song, it's not the best Coheed song I've heard, but it's certainly one I'd be looking forward to if I see him live. Yeah, like I said earlier, the last album sort of got quite experimental and did lose me in points. This one I'm feeling being brought right back in. Like I said, I really feel it. I'm really feeling going to. Oh man, well, I do love meeting Coheed. So yeah, that's my first reaction video. What do you guys think? Hey, let me know in the comments below. And if you want, you can follow me on all the social medias. They're all. I will figure this out. Don't worry. But yeah, you can follow me. And hey, if you like this video, like, share, subscribe, comment, all the rest of that jazz. Come on, you know this stuff as well as I do. Yeah, and any suggestions for songs in the future, put them down in the comments below. I've got a few lined up, but hopefully soon I'll be starting on any comments that you guys have. And yeah, if the requests are for the video that didn't quite make it up, I don't know if I'm prepared to do it. Depends on if I can salvage any of the sound quality, but very unlikely that one's going to surface in the near future. So yeah, till next time, I have been LJ, and it's been emotional.
Oh, come on, save me. She tells me what she wants. That only you can have your way.
Let's turn that down. Last thing I want to hear is myself echoed back to me. Hey, it's first word of the first episode, and I already f***ed it up. So I'm starting with